What is up, everyone? Connor Kroon here today, and today I'm going to talk about what to do after the dropshipping bubble bursts. Now, for the record, I don't believe the dropshipping bubble is about to burst. I'm talking specifically about dropshipping from AliExpress using Facebook ads and Shopify. I don't believe it's about to burst. I believe this is just the start of it. However, things in this industry are moving faster and faster every year. And, we'll talk about a few previous bubbles, as you can see on this slide. But I'm just saying, prepare yourself for the near future, and you won't get surprised when the bubble does burst, like a lot of people will be. So, over history, we can see a number of bubbles have happened. First of all, the dot-com bubble, 1995 to 2001, is the years that's most widely accepted this bubble happened. A lot of tech companies fell victim to over speculation and overvaluation. And when the bubble burst in 2001, the US stock market was affected absolutely terribly. Then there was the smartphone app bubble that started in 2008 with the creation of the Apple App Store. Some people would say that bubble is still around, there's still potential there. We all know that. We all know someone, or even ourselves, who had the idea for the next big app that was going to take over the world. We saw the success of Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder, Uber. But the reality of the situation was 99% of people who made apps never even made a single cent in revenue. Most of them weren't even downloaded once, and a lot of people lost money. We all heard about the massive success stories, but we didn't hear about all the failures. So are we in an e-commerce bubble today, specifically dropshipping from AliExpress with Facebook ads? Some people would say yes. Some people would even say the market's too saturated now. And here's my take on it. I think for the more generic items that have been around a while, yes, the market's a bit saturated. A lot of people have hopped in, try to copy what's already there. People have made a copy of a copy of a copy, and customers have already seen most of the stuff. However, new stuff comes out all the time. There's always new trends, new gadget inventions, new causes and movements that you can take advantage of. It's about who gets in first mover advantage. For example, there's a whole dropshipping industry built around iPhone accessories and gadgets. And, that's probably not a good market to get into now, but you have to think, okay, smartphones weren't around a couple of years ago. They're new. What's going to be the next big thing that could potentially have an accessories industry built around? I'm just speculating here. Maybe it's going to be VR. Maybe there'll be a lot of VR accessories that will appear on AliExpress that you could drop ship. I don't know too much about it. I have no idea what will be there. I can't see into the future. But all I'm saying is there's always new trends. And the dropshipping model itself has been around for a while, but specifically from AliExpress, this is only new. So the bubble is, there's still potential there. It's only taking off now. But like I said, the industry is moving so fast, you have to prepare for the imminent burst of it. So revenue, I thought this was important to include. This is Facebook's revenue from 2014 to 2016. You can see most of the revenue comes from advertising, and it's more than doubled in just those 2 years. So Facebook makes nearly all its money off advertising. Now, the platform was actually a little bit unsaturated a few years ago, but a lot of big players like Nike and Coke are hopping in, and even individuals, probably people like you and myself, who are either just doing dropshipping by themselves or maybe with their partner or just one of their friends. So in a sense, Facebook has democratized the ability to get your brand out there rapidly. Like a few years ago, building an online e-commerce store, you needed to pay for someone to code your website. You needed a marketer. You needed all these things. But in just the past few years with Shopify, they have themes to build your website. You have Facebook ads, which is a relatively straightforward platform to use once you've spent a while learning how to use it. This has democratized the ability to build an online company to the point where almost anyone can do it. They just need a laptop, internet access, and maybe a couple $100 in investment funds. It's the potential and the opportunities. This was not around a few years ago. So this is an absolutely amazing opportunity to use. Now this slide, as you can see here, it's a Shopify stock. It was doing all right from 2015 to 2016, but then at the start of 2017, as you can see on the graph, it really started to take off. Now Shopify, as most of you know, is the dropshippers e-commerce platform of choice simply because it's so easy to use. It has all these integrated apps, and the customer service is absolutely exceptional. So, if we're looking at any indication of the dropshipping bubble with Shopify and AliExpress really started 2017, that's only 5 months ago. So we could say that's when the bubble really started to take off. So there's still, I can't give you a figure on how long will be left. That's impossible to do. You can never guess. But I'm saying we're at the start now. So don't be put off by me saying the word, dropshipping bubble is about to burst. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this video is about what to do afterwards, how to prepare yourself for the future. And I'm going to talk about this in the next slide. So exactly, what to do after the dropshipping bubble bursts? Well, first of all, if you've had some success, if you've spent a lot of time, months, and money, you will have learned extremely valuable skills. You will have learned firsthand how to utilize the powerful marketing software like Facebook ads. It's, as I mentioned earlier, once you learn it, once you start to use it, you can't learn it just by watching YouTube videos. You have to go in there, spend some money, get some money back. That's how you really learn how to use it. It's like riding a bike or driving a car. You can't learn by reading a book. But once you know how to use it, it becomes almost second nature. Now, there's other skills that you will have learned, like, well, Shopify has the themes, so you don't need to know too much web design. You don't need to know too much graphic design. You can outsource that. But the hardest skill to learn in all of dropshipping and e-commerce is probably the Facebook advertising. There's also Google AdWords that you can learn how to use and become very good at, and SEO. Now, going on to the second column there, if you have learned these skills, tech companies will be very impressed that you have practical, self-taught experience, that the fact that you actually completely self-taught yourself these extremely valuable skills, they're going to be extremely valuable in the next years and decades. If you use these skills to generate a positive ROI on your investment, that's something that's very impressive to technology companies. The fact that you were willing to invest your own money and you actually confident enough in your skills to do that, that's a very powerful, that's something you could talk about in an interview that they will be impressed by. Combine that with the relevant degrees as the digital marketing degree with the high grade, you probably have a good chance of getting any position you apply for. Now think about the big firms like Google and Facebook. Most of these companies do make most of their money off advertising, as we talked about in this slide. So if you can go in there, say you know the platform inside out and that you've used it, they're going to be impressed by that, I guarantee you. Now the third option, social media consultancy. This business model is already around. I'm sure you've heard about it. Basically, you can start your own social media consultancy firm where you go into small and medium-sized businesses in your city and you pitch your service as a digital marketer, where you generate them real-life physical sales by getting customers into their store through social media. Now, this is a very lucrative business model because if you can sign up just a couple of clients paying you a couple $100 or even $1,000, $2,000 per month, that all adds up to a very impressive annual salary. But as I said, this business model is already around. It might be getting a bit saturated. There's a lot of social media firms out there, but it's always an option. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I like thinking about the future. I like looking at new technology, what's coming out. So I was thinking about this myself. What am I going to do if dropshipping bubble bursts and my websites are rendered obsolete? So I thought I'd share with you my thoughts, and I hope you found it useful and you have a better idea what you're going to do in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.